everybody, what's up? We are here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have out is Knight of Cups, and we also have Ace of Cups. Seven of Pentacles. I kind of get the vibe from this that rather than the Ace of Cups feeling like it's something that is like showing up and being handed to you, I kind of feel like this Ace of Cups is more so something that you are taking the initiative on to move towards. Because it is the Ace of Cups, it's going to be something that nurtures your like connection with yourself and whatnot. Sure, another person can be involved, but I kind of am seeing you having a solo energy here. So Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups feels like you looking over at the Ace of Cups and there being an intention to move in that direction and sort of get the benefits of what you would get by connecting with this. So something that strengthens your connection with yourself, your connection with spirit. There can be healing that's involved in this. I feel like that's what you're wanting more than anything, seeing Knight of Cups be looking at that. It's like wanting to go in that direction where it can make that feasible and also possible as well. Kind of that being the aim. Like, I'm starting a new chapter. I want this to be a place where I feel this like interlocking sense of connection with myself. And I wonder too if something's been going on where you feel like maybe you like need a new chapter for yourself, with yourself, to feel connected, to feel a renewed sense of connection with yourself. So it can be something that you want to move towards. When we have cups being involved, this can be something that's going to feel inspiring to you. It can be something that's going to feel soothing. It can be something that's going to feel healing. It can be something that has you feeling like connected with everything, connected with yourself, present to yourself emotionally, taking care of yourself. So these are things that are going to fall under that umbrella of the Ace of Cups. Then I'm also seeing Seven of Pentacles, and I'm seeing Three of Pentacles, and having these energies, I feel like there's whatever it is that you've currently been involved in. I think most prevalently, there's been a really big need for you to be open, for you to be tuning in, listening, adapting, cooperating. So no matter what this is that you have going on, it feels like there's been like patience that's needed, cooperation, a collaborative spirit that's been needed. And that for some of you, this hasn't been a chapter that you've been doing on your own. It's been taking like embracing attitude towards others that you've been connecting with too, because Three of Pentacles can also signify that as well. I kind of feel like this is also going to be supportive of something that you're in the process of doing already, and maybe this chapter is just part of it. Like if there have been other pieces and other chapters that have been connected with what you presently have going on, I feel like this next chapter of connection is something that's just going to plug you in further. There's like a like vibrational thing here that's happening. Like I even get this sense of you like going somewhere you belong, but this can be on an energetic level. It feel like I'm getting the image of you being a body of water with certain qualities, and that you are joining like a bigger body of water, but you also feel like that's connected with, it's like shares the same quality as you do. And that's kind of a like weird metaphor to be using, but I'm seeing you like joining something, but it's just more of you that you're connecting with, and it's more of something like you. It's not you fusing with something that feels different or other than. It's you connecting with something that feels like more of yourself that you're connecting with. But I don't know what this other like body of water is that you are connecting with, or what this collective is that you're connecting with, but it feels very much like the same quality as you. So it doesn't feel different. It just feels like there had been a separation and now you're moving to join with like the rest of it. It's kind of like rainfall comes down and there's maybe a bigger collection or vat of that energy, and then you were like a rogue droplet of water, and I'm seeing you now like following this stream where you're going to join that like bigger collective. That's what I'm seeing be going on. Wow. We also have the Ace of Swords here. This Ace of Swords is feeling like you're kind of hopping onto a new train of thought, and you can feel like whatever it was that you had to work out or figure out before, that has been accomplished. Maybe it was just stuff that needed to be processed in order for you to be in this place and feel clear. Like your vision is clear. There's not a bunch of stuff up in the air anymore. So Knight of Cups moving towards the Ace of Cups is saying, I want to make that move. I want to have this chapter. I want to connect with this. This is a thing, okay? This means that all of whatever needed to be taken care of before is being taken care of, so you can really feel like you have a fresh new chapter that you can begin. Now over here, I'm seeing Ace of Swords and King of Cups, and I feel like you're very clear-minded, especially when it comes to that difficult, it can be like psychological, energetic type stuff, because we have King of Cups here. This can be like, I'm very clear on where I stand emotionally. I'm very clear on what's going on psychologically. Like I'm in a place of truth with myself. And so I feel like there's not all of this stuff sort of weighing me down mentally, that I have resolved those things, and that now where I stand, it is a picture of clarity that I have. It feels too like anything that could have been sort of welling up before has now been stilled. And even in the most simplistic of terms, you can feel like, I know what I'm feeling, I know where I stand, I don't feel like I have to make sense of anything anymore. I'm clear on where I am emotionally with things. There's like the fog has lifted. It's going to be that type of feeling to this. Like more than anything, I feel this chapter being characterized as, I have figured out what I needed to figure out, and so I don't have any of those like problems, meaning like conflicts, to be working out anymore, because I have done that. So I feel very clear-headed, and that I'm seeing things clearly, and that I'm understanding things. It's gonna be like that. That will be the experience. Like you don't feel like you have anything to work out anymore because it's been worked out. Like actually properly resolved. When it comes to what you want to do, what you truly want to do, what you truly feel is are the moves that you want to be making, there can be a need for you to, there can be a little bit of resistance to you doing this and having to face that if this is something that's going to be done. Why I'm saying that is I'm seeing Seven of Wands be connected with Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is like, from the heart, this is what I want to be doing. And when you have, these are the steps that I want to take, I want to go in this direction. When you have Seven of Wands, it can indicate that there's like something that's posing a bit of a challenge to you doing this. And so when there's resistance to you doing this, when there is a challenge, and this can even be like something going on within you. It doesn't have to be somebody outside of you that is like a force in the opposite direction. Although, like, sure, it can be. This can be doing something to you where you feel like, because you're really going to have to stand your ground here, Five of Pentacles being next to it can feel like maybe on the outside you're sort of fighting and showing up and doing the thing. Like, stuff is challenging you, you're there and you're like, I'm taking this, I'm figuring this out, I'm addressing this, I'm not standing down. But I feel kind of like on the inside is how you're feeling. I feel like externally what you're doing, where you're showing up, is different than what you're feeling on the inside. On the inside, I'm seeing that Five of Pentacles. So on the inside, there can be a, like, is this all for nothing? Am I showing up and doing this and nothing is going to come of this? Like, am I going to make it out of here? Am I going to be able to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish? Is this going to be successful? It feels definitely like struggling with something internally, but then still showing up externally. So this can mean like physically you're showing up and still doing the work and doing what needs to be done, but on an internal level you can be like questioning it the whole time, or be like, I'm trying, but I really don't know if this is going to be something that ends up working out. Let's clarify what the Five of Pentacles is. Yeah, I feel more than anything like this is a mental thing from what I'm seeing. The Hierophant. Belief systems can be part of this. Your faith can be part of this. I wonder too if this is just not giving up on what you want. And you can feel too, like, because you're sort of going your own way with things, like it makes it more difficult because of that. Hi. So, yeah, Knight of Cups and Five of Pentacles really does feel like I'm moved to do this and I want to do this, and like, I don't know if what I'm trying to do is possible. Like, I don't know if this is going to be effective. I don't know if I'm going to pull this off. I feel like that more than anything. Like, I feel moved to make this move. I'm going to do it. I want to do it. At the same time, I don't know if it's going to do what I'm hoping for it to do. Like, I don't know if this is going to be effective. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this off. The thing is, too, that this is connected with something that you currently have going on. Like, this is connected with a process that you've been sort of in the middle of. And I wonder too if this is like when it feels like all hope is lost even, are you still gonna follow your heart and see that through, or is it something that you're gonna give up on? Because I'm kind of getting that vibe from this, like some being really challenged at this phase of the process that you're in the midst of. And I also feel too like warding off things that don't feel genuine to you and genuine to this part of your process. The way that the image on the Five of Pentacles looks to me, it reminds me of the Olympics rings. I feel like that's connected with this. Like when you think about the Olympics, at least when I do, I think about like competition, like games and whatnot, like you kind of being in something and giving it all you got here, regardless of maybe like what a disadvantage you may believe that you are in this moment, or like how you look at this and you're like, I don't know if this is possible to do this. Because after Five of Pentacles, I'm seeing Eight of Wands, which goes from being stuck in a spot that like you don't necessarily want to be in, and you may not have a lot of hope when you're in that sort of position given the circumstance that you're in. But then Eight of Wands shows like moving past that, moving through that, like getting away from that, so you're not in that position anymore. It's like you and quickly go somewhere else, or that you're in that spot. Five of Pentacles is like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull this off, and then Eight of Wands is like, and very quickly you're traveling with no blocks in front of you, and you're like, wow, I can't believe I almost stopped back there. Kind of feels like that. Yeah, Six of Wands. Six of Wands is connected with success. There really is something about you needing to be cooperative and collaborative here if you're going to get this win. That's what I'm seeing. So what this means is that if you're not being a teammate, and if you're not working together with the energy and or whomever else is involved in this, well, that's what's being suggested anyway, because I'm seeing that specifically. Sorry guys, my nose gets itchy sometimes when I channel. That's what I'm seeing be directly connected with the Six of Wands. So Six of Wands is like, yes, you pulled it off. Okay, Six of Wands is, okay, this worked, this was effective. But what has to happen in order to get that outcome that you want here is Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles means you have to work with the energy. And I also feel like you have to sort of allow in, I think, to allow things to be resolved. I wonder if that was something that you were resisting before. Like it almost feels like a chapter that you weren't allowing to come to fruition. Like there was something about like safeguarding that, maybe. Because I get the sense of you having something that's there and that's readily available, but then like doubting that for some reason. I wonder if it's just because of the circumstance though. Something about the circumstance being challenging, but then I'm seeing you not be in that circumstance anymore. And I'm actually seeing things really turn around. And I think even first you believed like, I don't even know if this is possible. And then you see that it's very much possible. And then you get this successful outcome, but it had been different than what you were thinking when you were in that position of the Five of Pentacles. Because Five of Pentacles can be like, okay, you're in a really challenging spot. Seven of Wands is not giving up when you're in that position. Eight of Wands is that things then end up moving, like the blocks end up being cleared. And then Six of Wands is success then, like it worked. I wonder too if this Seven of Wands was like a stubbornness as well that was happening too. Like something could have been going on with that as well. Maybe it just felt like a lot was coming at you at once and feeling like down on your luck given the circumstance. Feels like resisting the urge to give up. You're here because you want to be here. It's challenging though. Keep investing, keep collaborating, move through blocks, end up with things being successful. I do feel like this is a breakthrough that you're getting on something that's been extremely, extremely challenging for you. And maybe also too connecting with that part of you that wants to be like happy to be where you are, or inspired to be where you are, motivated to be where you are, feeling connected with where you are. Because over here I'm seeing King of Cups and I'm seeing Page of Wands, and that's going to be a feeling that you are totally present to how you're feeling, and also that you're in the right place, feeling like you're on the right path. But it feels like there was a block that was happening that was connected with that, but now having a breakthrough. I do feel too like there's been a very big evaluation that's been going on about what feels like it actually fits right for you when you're being totally in a place of honesty with yourself, emotionally, how you feel about things, where you feel like you're supposed to be according to that, according to the feeling. The energy you put in pays off. You get the breakthrough with the thing that you've been working through that's been feeling challenging. I do feel again, like in the beginning of this, there's something that's difficult to do that, like if you really allow yourself to be motivated by your heart and motivated by your feeling, it feels like it's the difference between like feeling that and doing it regardless of the circumstance versus feeling like you want to make a move and not doing it because you're like not believing that it's going to do anything before you actually know what it will be and what that will do. Feels like about choices that are being made, especially when you're in the midst of struggling with something and there can really be that doubt there. And in the middle of this, it does feel like something is enabled to continue going. That this pulls through. I feel too like this is about having to sort of like fight or show up for a chapter, more so like to make this possible, because it feels like this is all sort of centered around the Ace of Cups, which is about a chapter and is about that sense of connection. And it feels like I almost feel like something would come through and almost like take the opportunity away from you, even if it's just your own mindset and you being like, no, I don't want this option to be taken away, or like I don't want this chapter to be taken away. And you may have had to fight to have this chapter with the Ace of Cups. And in doing that, it feels like you move into that collaborative effort. So I feel too like it's not just you anymore that's sort of like fighting to make this happen or like standing your ground here. It feels like all the energy sort of working together here to support this and to make this happen. Maybe also understanding that in order to make this happen, there's a need to sort of work together rather than for there to be all of that opposing energy. And then I feel like something becomes reinstated for you where you're like, yep, this is where I want to be and this is what I want to be doing. And now you feel kind of like you can see things clearly then. Like, it definitely feels like a grand breakthrough that you have where you feel like you can really see things and see them clearly for what they are. And that you're not over here trying to make sense of things anymore. I get too that you following the lead of how you're feeling may have been maybe the most challenging part of all of this. Like, there was maybe a lot of stuff that was potentially getting in the way of you carrying out something that was heart motivated here, that was like the feeling of what you felt moved to be doing, and all of the challenges that were posed to you, if that was really something that you were going to follow through with. And I think not being persuaded by something that doesn't feel genuine to you. Like, not being manipulated, because we have King of Cups here. Not being manipulated, I think more than anything, not lying to yourself. Like, really being in that place of honesty with yourself. But this also means too, like, not being manipulated or impacted so much by like an inability to, or like an unwillingness to properly ground the experience that you're having and what you're feeling. Because I wonder too if this meant that you had to remain level-headed, or at least recognize when you're feeling ungrounded to center yourself again, to make sure that you're making a like self-aware choices here, and not something that's totally overwhelmed by something that needs to be centered and then making a choice off of that. This feels like from a grounded place, making sure that that's how you're addressing things, that that's how you're approaching things. Because having King of Cups and having Nine of Wands here, it can feel like the real challenge more than anything was handling all of this, has been handling all of this on an emotional level, on a psychological level, on an energetic level, because there's a lot going on. And I think being able to organize and make sense of what's going on, rather than to be like reactive to every little thing that's happening, to feel like you are centered in the way that you are moving through this, and know that when you're not feeling centered, that you don't go making big choices. And then have things sort of unravel from there. I do want to say this because of what I was seeing when the Hierophant came out. Something that can be connected with this is that, like, let's say if this is a person that you're connecting with here, there could have been something going on where there was like a difference in values, or like a difference in beliefs or something like this, or a difference in culture, or a difference in background, or a difference in, I feel like beliefs can kind of sum it up. Like, there could have been a difference of values, we can say, with the Hierophant. And that could have been something where you're like, I don't know if this is going to be able to work out because of that. And also too, like, the Hierophant can be that energy that really stands its ground and is like, well, I'm not going to negotiate. And then like you being like, well, I'm not going to negotiate. And it can really be that like butting of heads type of energy. Not to say like anybody is right or wrong, but it can get to that point of like, oh, those are your beliefs, these are my beliefs, and I don't see how this could possibly work then. Because Knight of Cups and Seven of Wands, it can definitely be like needing to stand your ground and move in a heart-led way. But also, too, having the Hierophant there can be like, maybe there was something that you were doing where you were being kind of stubborn about something. It can be like maybe where you were unwilling to negotiate or you weren't being collaborative. Because in the middle, it feels like the key to all of this is Three of Pentacles and Six of Wands. And it says like collaboration is the way to get success out of this. To get the win out of this. To ensure that this thing that you've been in the process of doing is able to succeed. And if you want that to happen, moving into collaboration is the most important part of this. Collaboration and cooperation, mutual support. The word charitable is coming through. I'm seeing this like in an emotional way. So maybe there's also something of that nature that's coming through. And maybe also to not dispose of something or disregard something, even though it was very challenging. And that also being part of this as well. Because I think like if you really are in a space that feels most pure in your heart, to trust that and follow the lead of that when it comes to the moves that you're making, and that it allows success. And also coming out of this feeling like it's not just composed to feel composed. This feels like a really genuine sense of, I just went through something that's been really challenging emotionally for me, and I feel like I grew through this. I feel like in some ways I matured through this. And then also too, this was something that was really a lot to handle psychologically, a lot to handle emotionally. And I'm over here feeling like I exhibited like some type of self-mastery moving through this process that was extremely hard, that was extremely difficult. Because this does really feel like a challenge that's been posed to you, like more than anything on an emotional level, and emotional and psychological, as they're like somewhat linked with one another. And I do feel like all of this was sort of fighting so you could give yourself, fighting for, like working towards the position where you could really give yourself a new chapter that you felt like, yes, this is the thing. Like wanting to really feel like there was this is what I want to be doing, this is where I want to be, this feels right to me, I'm happy to be here, and have that feeling. Like the opposite of what you'd want to feel is feeling like unenthusiastic about something. Having Ace of Cups and having Page of Wands is like, I'm excited to be doing this. This is exciting for me. This is happy for me. This is something that I'm engaged in. And I feel like that's also been part of this too. Like that's what there has been, like wanting that to be. And feeling in some way like there were so many challenges, like I don't know how to make that happen. I don't know if it's going to be possible to make that happen. Like all of these questions and all of this figuring out just to get that sort of outcome. And there definitely being a major breakthrough that has happened now. Being in extremely challenging circumstances and now feeling like that you are having that breakthrough at this point. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.